Back at Dover under caution for the third time today. Let's show you exactly what happened. Now look at the right side of your screen. The 55 car coming into your screen there. Right front tire.
Yeah, that's a hard hit by Michael Waltrip. That'll take your breath.
See, it does a ton of damage on that right front corner. It's good to see Michael able to drive it back in. Leaders are down pit road. Shannon?
Yeah, Kurt Busch, Juan Pablo Montoya, both of your leaders coming down pit road. They're both a little bit tight and are going to make some chassis adjustments. You see in the center of your screen right there, Juan Pablo Montoya getting ready to pull his car in. He will make 4-tire change and an air pressure adjustment to that 42 car. Guys, these guys have been stout since the beginning of the race and just looking to fine-tune that car to get it going for the next part of this race. Dave?
Jeff Gordon's car pretty good. The times look good to his crew chief, so they're not going to make any adjustments right now. 4 tires and Sunoco fuel for Gordon.
Watch a race off. Kurt Busch coming down. Jimmy Johnson still moving out, and the race off. Biffle will gain 3 positions. You see Kyle Busch up 4. And Andy, after watching what happened with those 2 tires, a lot of these guys is opting to get 4 this time.
Yeah, Kurt Busch made 2 tires work the last time, but he had to get 4 that time. Does a good job getting off pit road.
Working caution for the third time today. Back at Dover after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Back at Dover, getting set for the restart, and the pit road here is very narrow and it is very tight, just trying to get off. Take a look.
I don't know how many times we see this at Dover. You see Denny Hamlin pulling out of his stall. 2 cars were side by side, and he gets into the left rear of the 17. And now look at Montoya.
Yeah, he makes a good pit stop, but he gets boxed in right here. You can see he loses a spot to the 18, and now the 48's also going to beat him off pit road. Very tight down there.
But a wise move by Juan Pablo Montoya to jump on the brakes and not bend those fenders or possibly cut a tire and have to come back in. Kurt Busch, our leader here, as we go back to the green flag. Lap 89 of 400 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series action at Dover International Speedway. It is stop number 2 in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. Greg Biffle in second spot. Jimmy Johnson wants it. There's Kyle Busch behind Jimmy Johnson in the 18 car. Kyle gained 3 positions on pit road. Great pit work, and now is trying to get up and lead a lap today. Heck, he'd like to lead them all.
Yeah, he would like to lead them all.
See, Biffle able to clear Jimmy Johnson off of turn 2. Got a nice run off the bottom.
See that 18 working the middle of the racetrack, actually working up higher this time.
See him lose the front end just a little bit right there. That might cost him. See if Gordon can take that spot.
Warning about, we'll watch the battle here. The 48 car getting ready to move on the inside of Biffle for position, and Montoya down on the inside of the 24 car.
It looks like Gordon's struggling a little bit on this restart here. You can see as Montoya got up to his back bumper, car wiggled a little bit coming off too, but he's able to make a nice run off turn 4 and keep the spot for the time being. There goes Montoya by now, though.
That is for the 5th position. Montoya 5th, Gordon 6th. There's Ryan Newman 7th, and Mark Martin is in 8th position.
Yeah, he's been steadily moving up. He lost some spots early in the race, and now you see moving under Ryan Newman, who's got a loose race car.
Yeah, you're going to have to deal with this 5 car before this day's over with. This racetrack and his setup's coming to him now.
Martin, a 4-time winner at Dover, Delaware. Having won the Chase Race 1 last week in New Hampshire, coming in as the points leader. Kyle Busch now on the bottom of the racetrack, taking a spot away from the 16 car. He will be 3rd now.
It looks like he's got a car to his liking today, too. Montoya. Man, it's guy's just got a good race car. He lost those couple spots in the pits. Obviously didn't let that affect him. Getting it back on the racetrack.
You would never believe the fact that Juan Pablo Montoya has never even had a lead lap finish at this racetrack. But he came here, as you heard Shannon say, back in August and ran over 200 laps as the tire test. What a difference that has made for this team. Here 14th, 15th, and 16th. The 83 car of Vickers, a 17 of Kenseth. 98 is there, Paul Menard.
That's
Paul
good.
Menard having a good solid day here.
Yeah, and it's good to see Matt Kenseth in the 17 having a good day. That's struggled the last couple of weeks, but he's back on track here.
We saw him in practice yesterday lay down some really good laps in some longer runs of anyone that was on the racetrack. The 83 had really been fast and coming on at the end of that last run before we had that caution flag for Michael Waltrip's blown tire. See if he can get it going back forward.
We saw the 11 car have some contact on pit road, lost some positions trying to come off of pit road a moment ago. Let's update him, Dave.
And the crew's getting a good look at that right front right now. They don't believe the damage to be really hurting Denny too much. They had Kevin Harvick, who you can see there right behind him, pull up next to him just to give an idea of, actually right in front of him there, just to give an idea of whether the damage was severe or minor. And when Harvick reported to him that it was minor, they decided to stay out, and they'll take a look at it if they need to do anything on the next caution.
A little teamwork on the racetrack, having someone look at your race car for you. Jeff Gordon now easing in slowly but surely on Greg Biffle. That would be for the 5th spot.
As we watch this battle, just to let you know, David Rudeman was able to take the wave around before that last restart. He is now just one lap back after he had to make that pit stop for fuel under the green flag.
And he would be the first car lap down, by the way, and eligible to get the free pass or lucky dog if the caution were to come out here very soon. A fourth of the way through here, Dover International Speedway, 100 to 400 laps in the books. And there's the guy you were talking about a moment ago, DJ, that 5 car of Mark Martin.
Yeah, he's steadily on the move. Looked like he's got his car a little bit loose right there, but able to hang on to it. He's really right on the bottom of the track, making some time.
Mark Martin making his 750th career start. His first start April 5th, 1981 at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Folks, there are 9 drivers in this race today who weren't born when Martin made his first Cup start back in 1981. Kurt Busch, our leader in the 2 car. He has now led the last 44 laps, just past the 100-lap mark. Back in a moment.
ESPN's coverage of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series on ABC. Brought to you by Pepsi. Tune in before the Pepsi 500 on ABC for the premiere of Together, the Hendrick Motorsports story. Presented by Pepsi. Autotrader.com. When you search for a car on Autotrader.com, you can narrow by model, color, and price. Find the car you want at the price you want at Autotrader.com. Goodyear. Innovative technology to help you get there. And UPS. See David Reagan go head-to-head with UPS drivers in Maximum Driver at racing.ups.com.
And a reminder that ESPN's Monday Night Football continues in the new Cowboy Stadium as the Carolina Panthers come to town, led by Steve Smith, to take on Tony Romo and the Cowboys. Panthers-Cowboys on ESPN's Monday Night Football at 8:30 Eastern. Coverage beginning with Monday Night Countdown, served by Applebee's at 7 Eastern Time. Just past the 1/4 point of today's second race in the chase for the Sprint Cup here at the Monster Mile, Dover International Speedway. Kurt Busch is out in front, leading Jimmy Johnson by that gap. You see there, Kurt, Jimmy, and Ryan Newman, the 3 chasers who have led in this race, and the only drivers that have led besides David Gilliland, leading a lap on an exchange of pit stops. Now, that's the chasers on the good end of the spectrum. Guys farther back in the pack. Tony Stewart in the 14 running 21st. Carl Edwards in the 99 running in 22nd spot. Stewart involved in an incident back at lap number 31, sustained some damage to the nose of his car as well as the right rear quarter panel.
Yeah, the right rear quarter panel is what I'm most concerned about in Tony's car right now. They did fix this, got a pretty big dent in the right side, and we all know that these quarter panels are very, very important. It looks like it's going to be okay, but I will tell you that spot on the right rear is one of the key parts on these cars nowadays. You got to keep that thing right.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And the one thing that's interesting to me, though, is the difficulty that I see that Tony's having and the rest of the cars of getting up and getting into some pack racing and also having a chance to pass. But let's go down to Vince and talk to him real quick. Vince, you got an update on Tony Stewart?
Well, I think that was certainly going to be something to keep an eye on when they came in and they put the sheet metal there on the front of Tony's car. They did some damage control on the right rear quarter panel, as you guys addressed. But Tony came on the radio a few minutes ago and said the car is better since the adjustments that we've made. He's just going to ride around for a while. He knows it's a long race, but no complaints with the race car up through this point. And that's certainly a sigh of relief for this 14 team after the damage they sustained in that incident involving Joey Logano.